welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things homesteading, homemaking, and just our journey to a slower, more simple life. This video is going to just kind of be about my week and what I'm going to be getting up to in my homesteading and homemaking. And I'm not sure exactly what will be in the video yet because it has yet to happen. But this morning is Memorial Day morning and it is just nice and cozy. It is not raining currently, but it seems like it probably will. It's a lot colder, definitely cloudy, and I got my hot coffee this morning. Already got a first load of towels in the laundry because I definitely got to catch up on laundry today. And in just a little bit, I'm actually going to be hopping on to my online Bible class, and that is a few hours. But I'm hoping after that it will still not be raining. But even if it's raining, if it's not raining too hard, I think I will get some weeding done in the garden today. And that might seem strange to do it on a cloudy day, and it probably will be more buggy, but I don't have to worry about my shoulders or anything getting burnt, which is a good thing, because being hunched over weeding, definitely you can get the neck and the back of your shoulders pretty burnt if you're not careful. I definitely see a lot of weeds coming up in my tomato/squash bed, so that is definitely on the agenda. And of course, I know some meals throughout the week will be on the agenda. So tonight I am doing hot dogs and hamburgers and pasta salad. So that'll be pretty yummy. I was gonna do it on the grill, but we'll have to see how the weather goes. I may sit out here and do some reading for a little bit, but I will definitely catch up with you again in a little bit. So I am out. It is currently not raining at this moment, but it has been, so that's why I got my rain jacket on. But it's a little chilly, but not bad at all. And I'm gonna get some weeding done now in the garden. It is very weedy, as you'll probably see. And so I'm just getting my gloves on because some of the stuff's a little spiky, and we're just gonna weed for a little bit.
Still a little rough around the edges, and the less I say, the better things seems to go. When you need someone that you also feel needed.
So I am hearing some thunder, and it looks like the rain is going to really start coming down, so I'm going to call it there for today, probably with weeding. But I'm going to grab some chives to bring in for part of the pasta salad. So I'm going to make pasta salad, hot dogs, and hamburgers, and that'll be really yummy.
Or do you just like the company I keep? I want to know you better, but I don't know how to go slow about it. Treat me with your kindness, and I see what I can do. Sooner the better, my dear. Signs in your eyes telling me to be the man. If looks could kill, wouldn't I be better off dead? When you need someone that you also feel needed. You're so beautiful I'll give you my heart, babe. Do you find me attractive, or do you just like the company I keep? I wanna know you better, but I don't know how to go slow about it. Treat me with your kindness, I'll see what I can do. Sooner the better, my dear.
Good morning, guys. I just finished my morning workout, and today is definitely going to be another super rainy day. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing is going to be inside. But on today's agenda, I do have folding, putting away some laundry, and I'm going to be recording a video on making a couple lilac recipes, which will be a separate video that will probably come out before this one. But so I do have to go outside and get some lilac from my lilac tree. But first, I still have to get dressed since I'm still in my PJs because that's what I work out in. So I'm going to go do that, and then I'll catch up with you. Now at this point in the day, I have a few dishes already accumulated from just this morning. So I'm going to clean those up and put those away, and then I will have a clean working space to start making some of those lilac treats. So the sooner I get started with this, the better. So let's get going. So I have been filming my lilac video, and I will link it because I'm sure it is already up, but now I'm just kind of in the in-between mode, and so I'm cleaning up the kitchen a little bit. I like to really just take care of things as I'm going so that it's not all one huge thing at the end. So bowls in a dish pan, and I will probably wash them and put them away just so I don't have to do them with tonight's dishes. Few things I'm leaving out are some honey and vanilla because I think I'm going to be making the icing for that cake. You will see. I'm going to go ahead and give these a wash. Gotta wipe the honey off of the counters, but not after I kind of put my finger and licked them off. At least I didn't lick directly on the counters, but I'm not going to show you me doing that to the counters because you might think it's gross. But there's no way I'm going to let that honey go to waste. After I get done filming this recipe video, I am probably gonna have to get right into dinner. The sun is actually starting to come out a little bit. It's not super sunny by any means, but it is not super cloudy like it was before. Dinner tonight is going to be Italian style chicken with a pesto with basil from the garden. I love that we're getting to start using some of the ingredients from the garden. Last night, the pasta salad had chives from this year's garden, as well as pickles I made from last year's cucumbers that I grew. I'll be excited when I can say the tomatoes and everything were from the garden, but not quite yet. But tonight I'm using basil from the garden, and thank you all for basil tips, because as I mentioned, I haven't really been able to get them to grow in the past, but they're looking really well actually this year, and I think it's just because I had a real place for them, not just a little pot. And I have to make a nut-free pesto because I'm actually allergic to tree nuts. Now I'm starting to get really hungry. I personally do dinner really early in my house because you might be like, whoa, what time is it that you're having to get ready for dinner? I do dinner usually is ready for anywhere between 4:15 and 5, which I think is pretty early for a lot of people. I kind of do meals a little different than probably most. I don't really have a designated breakfast, lunch, dinner. I more kind of have a brunch and then a dinner, of course with snacks whenever I'm hungry throughout the day. But for myself personally, I just don't find that 3 main meals really works for me that well. My body kind of almost naturally seems to enjoy kind of intermittent fasting, but not really. I don't like fast for the whole day, but I definitely save my biggest meal and my most food consumption for dinner time, but it is just what works for me. So I am on my way outside now to check the gardens a little bit with it being a little bit sunnier, see how things are doing through the couple days of rain, and to grab some basil. So let's go ahead. There is a boy in my way. Hello. He wants to come in. I am just out here now. It is 8 o'clock and it's still, as you can see, kind of like light out. Not really light, but not dark, which is always just so amazing in the summer. But if you can hear, those are all the peeper frogs. And it might be annoying to some, but to me, I just adore the sounds of the peepers. I remember the first night that I came out here this early spring, and the first night I heard the peepers, I got so excited because it really means that the warm season is here and summer is just around the corner. It's surprisingly not very buggy for having been a wet day and being dark, but I am just enjoying the sounds of the peeper frogs, and I'm going to do my nightly prayer journaling. Oh, there's a bug. And just enjoy it as long as I can, because I am starting to see the bugs now that I said there weren't any. They have smelled me probably. But this is it for today. Good morning, folks. It is another day, and today is a beautiful day, as you can see. This morning, I'm still in my PJs at this moment. I got trash to take to the road, so I'm going to be doing that first. And then, oh, there's a chipmunk over there. There it is. Here it goes. But anyway, like I was saying, gotta take the trash to the road. It's trash day. And then I will be able to clean up, and I'm gonna wash my hair, and I'll give like a little update on how that shampoo has been doing. It's been fantastic, and I am not joking at all when I say that it works better than the shampoo that I had before. It like makes my hair look nicer, which I honestly wasn't expecting, and I didn't really care if it wasn't as nice just because I knew that it was natural, but it actually is better, which is great. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do my trash chores and whatever else that is yucky to get done this morning, and then I'm gonna get cleaned up.
Some days I can't get out of my bed. Some days I'm waking up on the wrong side of my head, and I got all these eyes on me, staring at me through my screen. Most nights I just can't wait to lie down. So tired from my thoughts that keep on swirling around. Medication used to help me breathe. Now it feels like it's abusing me, 'cause all of my thoughts take the air out of me.
So I'm in my hammock and I am relaxing, but also just studying some things about the Bible, trying to really memorize. And I'm currently trying to memorize how many books, chapters, and verses are in the Bible, both in the Old Testament and the New Testament. So what I have to do is kind of come up with a little jingle, and so I came up with 39,929,23144. So 39 books, 929 chapters, 23,144 verses in the Old Testament. And then 27,260, 7957. 27 books, 260 chapters, 7,957 verses in the New Testament. It is a beautiful day, and this morning I am just spending some time watering my houseplants first thing, and that's just kind of a little bit of a fun fact about me. I don't only like gardening outside and those kinds of plants, but I also really love houseplants. I have 25, I think, in total, which might seem like a lot or a little depending on your stance with houseplants. I definitely want more. It's kind of like a collection type of thing for me, but I love my houseplants. And that's actually not even counting all of my mom's African violets that she has, because my mom loves African violets. But I'm going to be going through and checking the soil on them today, see who needs some water, and do that. But I will show you a couple. I'm not going to show you all my houseplants because that's probably not why you're here, but I do want to show you a couple of my favorites. One of them being back here as we approach. This is my big one. I've had this for years. It's a Monstera deliciosa, and it's great. Also, this leaf might look bad because it is, but it actually put out a little bit of variegation, and this is not a variegated Monstera, so that is kind of cool. Kind of a rare thing to occur. And the rest of it that was brown was also variegated, and that's why it turned brown, because variegation in a plant basically means there's no chlorophyll in that plant. So where it is white or yellow, it can't actually sustain itself. It needs the green part on the leaves to actually take in the sunlight and such, in a very basic way to explain it. This is probably the one I am most excited about. This is a Thai constellation Monstera, and that is the same plant as that one, but it's supposed to be variegated. They tissue culture it to always be variegated, and I'm really excited for that to grow. I also have my huge Maranta that I love. This is a Rabbit Tracks Maranta. Got all kinds. This panda plant I have also had for years. Look how wonky and weird. But anyway, I will go ahead and just get watering to them, and then I also have quite a bit of cleaning that I need to get done today. Some dusting. I see dust like where I'm looking. Got to vacuum because my pupper is very sheddy. So there's always hair everywhere. It kind of looks like tumbleweeds blowing down the hallway. But yeah, I definitely got a full list of things, and I shouldn't run out of anything to do. Yesterday it was a leftovers day, and I finished up all the leftovers that were in the fridge. I definitely have 1 or 2, usually more like 2 leftover days a week, which can be very helpful. I don't have to make something brand new every single day. And I will say, don't be afraid to like mix leftovers together. Like if you had a little bit of one dinner and you don't eat that, you make something new for the next dinner, and then you have leftovers of both. The third day, just kind of have a mixture of those two. Use it up. It's not weird to do that. Even if they don't like super go together, there's nothing wrong with just eating the good food that you have left. But I better go ahead and get started on some of the stuff that I gotta do.
Voices in my head that just don't feel like my own. The music on my radio is the only reason I don't feel alone now. 'Cause all of my thoughts take the air out of me, and I can't disagree with the lies that I think you believe. Tell me, what do you believe? And if there was a way to explore my brain, I
another day pretty much to its end. I am going to finish up my supper tonight. Easy peasy supper, steak with homemade Worcestershire that I made, broccoli and rice, and like a nice sauce. Easy little meal to whip together for the evening. And then after I'm done with this, dishes, watering, just any other little things I can wrap up before it is bedtime. It is already getting close to the end of another week. Crazy how fast it goes. But I will see you again tomorrow. Good morning once again. This morning I am going to refill the hummingbird feeders. And if you have hummingbird feeders and don't know, the recipe for hummingbird food is super simple. You definitely don't need to buy hummingbird food, especially not the red dye, because that's just not good for hummingbirds. But it's literally just 1 part sugar to 4 parts water. So in my case, 1 cup of sugar to 4 cups of water. And you'll just have to know that you'll need to replace the water kind of frequently if it's in the sun, because it does start going kind of bad, and then also ants start, you know, dying near it too. But I am filling these up quickly this morning, and then I am heading out to get some groceries. And I will go ahead and show you what I end up getting for groceries too, just because I find that kind of interesting and fun. I like seeing what other people get. But yeah, it is finally Friday and it's a beautiful day. I'm going to see what the day holds ahead. So I am back home now and I'm going to do a little grocery haul for you. I got quite a few red peppers, 5 I think, some red pears, some avocados, a couple organic nectarines, grapes, a big bundle of organic bananas, and a bundle of curly parsley, regular parsley, and cilantro. Oh, and also a package of a mixed kind of variety of grape tomatoes and a couple heads of garlic. I try to eat very with the season for the most part, which I do. I don't ever get like strawberries or raspberries or blueberries, anything out of season, because they ship it from like California, and 1, they're expensive, 2, they're usually super gross because they're just not in season for that time, and all that shipping, the varieties, whatever it is, just not great, not a fan. But with that being said, I do get a few things that just could not be grown here under like pretty much any normal circumstance, such as the bananas and avocados. Ideally, I would want to someday get those things through some kind of program. There was at one point I was getting fruit, I think it was called Ugly Fruit. I don't remember the company, it was a few years ago and I'd love to look into it again. I kind of don't remember why I stopped, but they would take produce that was basically not too standard and send you a box, and that would include fruit from areas where things grow that don't necessarily grow in your area. But I do not usually get things like avocados or anything in the winter. I usually only get those in the summer. Hopefully, in the future, I will be in a circumstance to have fresh tomato more often. These tomatoes, I don't get tomatoes year round, but once they start kind of becoming good in some areas, then I'll get some before mine are ready. And same with, I'll get some garlic. I'm hoping that I'm going to get a lot of garlic from my garden this year. I can't remember how much of what I planted was garlic and how much of it was onion, but I'll figure that out when I pull it up, I suppose. And hopefully the herbs will take off too, because that would be great to not have to get the herbs. The peppers and herbs are actually for my pet guinea pigs. If you don't know, I have pet guinea pigs. They are pretty recent of an addition and they're so much fun, but I do hope to grow more of the food for them opposed to buying it coming up into the summer. That'd be great. Other than that, this is technically in the produce section. I got myself a little kombucha treat, and I want to make my own kombucha at some point. And this is apparently a new flavor, and it's really good if you like kombucha. It's the Synergy Pomelo Pink Lemonade, and I am a big fan of that. Oh, and I got a big thing of white distilled vinegar for cleaning purposes. The big thing I got, oh wow, I was still in the apartment, I think, when I got it. So that was over a year ago, for sure, because I left the apartment last July. So, just ran out, had to get another one. Got a couple things of butter. This is a local company, so some unsalted butter. That is pasteurized, however. These cheeses are not pasteurized. These are raw cheeses, also local. I got a rustic cheddar, a rustic's a county in Maine, and Parmesan. And this is a nice brand that is local. This is some different Greek yogurts that I've never had before and I'd like to try. We got coffee, that is intriguing, key lime, and then just a plain vanilla. A couple things of local eggs. I'm still so sad about not having the chickens anymore because if you don't know, I lived here at this property in town, which I can have chickens, and I had a whole pen for them. They can't free range in here, obviously, because we're like right in the middle of a town. I don't know if that's obvious or not, but you can't typically have free-ranging chickens or roosters if you're in certain areas of a town, like in suburban areas. But I had 4 chickens here. Then I decided to move for a couple years out of my mom's house into an apartment. Couldn't have the chickens there, gifted them, but then I moved back and now I don't have that set up. So I don't have, you know, an area for the chickens. I'd have to put the money into rebuilding it, and I'd rather just, I think, wait until I have another place and put the money towards saving for the, you know, the home that I want to be in. So it's a struggle, but buying eggs, that is a-okay. Love to support people. And to finish up the dairy, we got a raw cream, and I got it for 50% off, which is great. I believe it's just because it's a day after the sell-by date, so they mark it down, and I have no problem with that. That is fine with me. And I got 2 big jugs of raw milk, which is fantastic. I will be completely open with you that I do not always get raw milk, although I'd like to. I'm hoping to start transitioning into doing that at this point now, but there's a few reasons why I don't always, and that is one, the stores that carry them are kind of a drive away, so I had to go to not my most local grocery store, but to kind of a special store that's about 30 minutes away. I don't mind the drive, but that's one reason. And 2, of course, it is quite a bit more expensive, which is hard. It is hard to do that. And I hope that you hearing me say that I can't always do it, I can't always afford my preferred route, it's okay if that's the case. I try not to beat myself up about it, even though I like milk and a lot of things I have are milk, and I know that when I'm using, you know, ultra pasteurized milk that is cheaper, that I'm really not getting any good benefits from it and could possibly even be getting some negative things. But I don't stress about it. It's just one of those things that you deal with, and when you can, you can. And today I got 2 gallons, and I'm very excited about it. I am just blessed in general to be in a state that you can just go purchase raw milk in a store, because that is not the case, and it's wild to me that that's not the case for most states. I highly recommend, there's a website that kind of talks all about raw milk, and to find out what it is like for the state that you are in and just information, I will put it down below, and because I don't remember it on the top of my head, but so informative. But I really hope in the future that more states will open up to raw milk being more accessible, and just that more people will be able to make that option, because it is a great option to have. And finally, in my little grocery haul, I got a few bulk things. I got a coffee bean, and if you know, I only drink decaf coffee. This is a local brewing company, and I'm really excited to try it. The kind I usually get at the store that's closer to me is close by but not in state. It is a great company, but I really wanted to try one in state, and I'm really excited. This is really close by and it looks really good. And to wrap it up, a couple bulk things: sunflower seeds, cashews. These are not for me because I'm actually severely allergic to nuts, tree nuts, but especially I'm severely allergic to cashews. Clearly, as you can see, I can hold the cashews. I was able to get the cashews out of the bulk bin, so I guess severely is not the right word. I don't become like anaphylactic, but if I have even like a taste of tree nut, it's bad. It's very bad. I've had many times that I've had reactions. One time I was in Canada and I was at a restaurant, and I was in Quebec, so people didn't speak English that well, and I didn't even order anything. We were on the way home, and I just tried somebody else's meal that ended up having some kind of tree nut in it, and the whole ride home from Canada I was throwing up, and just it's awful, awful, awful. Completely a bad time. A big thing of organic cane sugar, obviously not bleached, and a big thing of all-purpose organic flour. And that is my grocery haul. Now I best be putting these things away before things get hot, because it's a hot day. So I'm gonna do that. Good morning for the last time for this video, I'd say. We are at the end of the week now, and it is now, I think, coming on 6 o'clock. I got my watering done for the morning, but I still got a little bit of stuff to clean up, I think, before I get ready for the day, really. It's gonna be a beautiful day, so we'll see what we do, but I know I'm gonna be ending this week with a roast whole chicken dinner, which will be lovely. And I'm gonna be packing some up to take to one of my neighbors that is quite elderly now. They're, I think, 88 years old. And I can just remember when I was little, I would walk up a path. They live kind of at the top of a hill on the street I'm on. And I would walk in a path through the woods there. It's super overgrown now. But I'd walk up and I'd always bring them food that my grandmother cooked, and we'd give them a little food, and she would give me piano lessons for free. And we didn't have to give her food to get the piano lessons, but we always did. My grandmother would make like soups and homemade bread, and I'd carry the soups and homemade bread up through the path in the little woods and to her house and get some piano lessons. And that's just such a nice memory, and I haven't seen her in quite a while, just a little bit here and there, but she's getting quite elderly now and needs some help with things, and so I may be helping her out here and there more. I'm not quite sure yet, but she said she'd let me know, but I'm definitely bringing her some of the food that I'm making today. I think she will really, really enjoy that. But I was in her house the other day too, and it's one of those houses that hasn't changed at all. I don't know if you know anywhere like that, but somewhere that you have fond memories of as a child and then go back years later and it just really hasn't changed. It's kind of cool because I feel like not a lot of things are like that. I feel like a lot of things change, but she's kept her house exactly the same as I remember it. I'm a little bit sniffly this morning. I think it's just because of the cold. It's a little colder now. It's like, it said it was only 42. It feels warmer than that, but maybe that's just my thick maned skin. But it's gonna be up to like 76, 78 later, so I'm not stressed. But I'm just gonna go ahead and enjoy the morning and see what I can get done. And it is now the end of a beautiful Sunday and the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing kind of just some of what goes into my weeks, and of course every week is very different, but I know I enjoy seeing kind of more vloggy style and just seeing what other people do spend their time. And so I hope you enjoyed just a little bit of what I do. I hope it can be inspiring, and if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to drop it down below. But I am going to enjoy the rest of my evening. If you like this kind of content and would like to see more in the future, please consider subscribing to join our community of like-minded folk, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye!